Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Changemakers interview with Ramona Myles. As you can see in the picture, Ramona is all about tech-savvy women over 50. She helps so many people, but right now, Ramona is focused on building a community on Facebook where she supports women who would like to use technology to get their message out, to make their impact felt, and to make a difference in this world. Ramona is what I call a tech enabler. She helps coaches and entrepreneurs to figure out what technology will help them to do what they do best and what technology can do better for them in order to free up their time to shine more. So today, we want to welcome Ramona. We can't wait to hear all of the details about how she does this magic that she does. Hi, Ramona, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. This is such an honor.
It is a pleasure. You are a warm and giving person, and I was so excited when the idea came to interview Ramona. Sometimes people are in front of you and you sort of take them for granted. And Ramona is not somebody to just swipe to the next page. She is a special, special person. I have many friends that she has worked with and helped. And I'm glad to say that she's also worked with me and made a big difference to me and to my business. So thanks for that as well. We have several visitors here with us today. Many of the women that Ramona has helped have come out to this interview, and I want to acknowledge each one of them and welcome them. At the end of our interview session, we'll have a question and answer session, and we'll invite each of you to join us to ask your questions about how technology can help your business and to share what you've done so far in your business to support the growth and the outreach of your business through technology. But let's get back to the lady that we all met to talk to. Ramona, could I start with a little background about you? Could you tell me about your background growing up and how you came to be this person doing what you do?
Oh wow, that's a good question. How far back do you want me to go? I'm the youngest of four, so we can go back that far.
No.
And then fast forward to being a mom of five children. I've got 2.5 grandchildren. There's one due to be born any day, any moment. And we're having another boy, so that'll be one girl and two grandsons I'll have. And so my journey started as my children were being born and growing up. They've experienced me with wins and losses, so they're my cheerleaders as well. But getting online, it started way in the 90s, basically. So that's why I laugh and I say I'm a dinosaur on here, because I feel like I've been on here so long and I've seen all the changes. And then I've also experienced the inconsistencies with myself. So I understand the frustration that many people have when they're trying to get something started and there's all these pieces involved and they're just trying to work through it. And so I just want to be able to help women just get it going, like get it done. That's become my slogan, to just be able to get it done.
What is it that drew you to help women as your focus?
Well, it's just started happening when I was only just doing web development, just building websites. Most of my clients were men, but a lot of women weren't online at the time. And so this one lady stood out. She had videos right when YouTube started. You know, the term search engine wasn't even out there yet, but she was doing it. And I was like, whoa, that is really good. She's really helping a lot of people. And then she was talking about, of course, the income that she was generating, how she was able to travel with her family. And so this was way before 2000, you know, when I was watching her grow. Now I'm still seeing those struggles with women. So I started focusing on tourism, you know, doing tours, taking people to Egypt. And then, of course, you know, we had all had our experience in 2020. And so I had to pivot. And so when I started to focus back on web development, I noticed an increase of women struggling. And they were everybody's been very vocal about this. And it led me to want to embrace that, but then I myself needed to be updated on what was going on online. And so I reached out and participated in a challenge that led me to a program, and what I was experiencing as an idea, you know, became a reality because women were actually having problems. Men sort of pull together and work differently than we do. And so another shift that I've seen happen is how women are really embracing each other and building each other and really, really helping. So, you know, it's just been an amazing experience so far. It's hard to put in words, really.
Well, what I've noticed as you have helped me, because you spent the better part of 2 days literally holding my hand as I built my website. So at the bottom of my website in the footer appears a statement customized by Myles Marketing Solution. And it's there not because you asked for it to be there, but because I knew I couldn't get there unless Ramona had held my hand. She helped me to navigate all of these little glitches that I didn't expect to come up. I had built websites. I had built, I think, 5 websites by the time I was building this one, but I was doing it in a different place. And the plugins had changed and everything seemed to be popping up as a problem. And I called Ramona frustrated one day and I said, could I get 1 hour of your time? And of course, Ramona said yes. But that hour, believe it or not, turned into 6. She gave me her whole day. And I kept apologizing. And I kept saying, Ramona, I had no intention of, you know, having you do this for me. It wasn't that I was baiting and switching you. I literally asked you to come in here just to give me some direction. And instead of that, this wonderful person held my hand and taught me how to do it. She said, I could do it for you if you want, but she knows that I don't want to just farm it out because I want the skill and I want to be able to fix it for myself. And so she very patiently sat there and she showed me, and then she watched me do it for myself. Most people would say, good, now you have the skill, bye. And she sat there and watched me build this whole thing. So that's why that experience where she did something very selfless for me is why I said, Ramona, could I interview you? Because these are the people who should be the leaders we look to. I'm sure the people who are here agree. It's the love, it's the personalization, it is the generosity, the selflessness. Those are the things that will be the world that we want. Those are the things that are building the world we want. So I and the people who are putting in the chat, we all celebrate her dedication, her commitment, and her generosity. And so, Ramona, you don't have to wait for a eulogy to hear these things, right? We are already so happy that we know you and so grateful to you.
You're gonna make me cry.
So let's stop there before we spoil our interview. So, Ramona, let me ask you, what is it that made you head into tech in the first place? Because there are not many women at this 50+ age who even can conceptualize all these things that you know about tech, much less know them as an expert. So what is it that led you to dip your toe in the water with tech and then to grow into the expert you are today?
Well, this goes back to in the early times of people building websites. They weren't called websites at the time, they were just web pages, you know, and you'd have to scroll like forever to get to what you wanted to see. And I wanted to participate in that, you know, and start some sort of business or whatever. And I just couldn't afford it. It cost too much. You know, then we were using AOL for the internet. We had to pay by the hours, you know, and I just didn't have the money. And so I was at the library and I saw for the first time HTML, learned HTML coding to build a simple web page. And so I checked the book out and started, you know, trying to build a page. Then trying to get it on the internet was another difficult task. So working on that for a while, it really never happened. But I ran across a process that these two men were sharing about selling information. And so, and they said, you don't need a web page. So I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be great. Or you don't have to build your own. So I sent in my $20, and it turns out that that was the whole process. Like I would share that little code that they had, and I would put it on like free classified places, and people would send me money to send them the information. And so you wouldn't have things ready beforehand. It's sort of like now, like with courses now, we're being taught to pre-sell your course and then build it as, you know, so that you'll have the right information your clients needed. That concept goes all the way back to the 90s when you would receive payment, go to the copy center and make a copy of some information and literally mail it to people. So when I first did that, I had three customers, actually four. One person actually put a $20 bill in the envelope and the other three sent me checks. I thought I was rolling. I thought I was really doing, you know, something amazing. But it was, you know, it was still a problem. Fast forwarding now, over the years, I just kept on learning and learning and learning. And then here comes WordPress. As everybody probably knows, I'm a WordPress fan. And so I used to make custom themes myself, you know, as a developer. And then I found that so many other developers were out there. So why try to reinvent the wheel? Use what they already have and then help people build. And I can do it in a less expensive way. And so it just went over time, just learning different things. Now the term funnel is out. And so, you know, there's softwares for funnels, but a lot of things that I've been sharing with everybody is a lot can be done right there within WordPress. And so then I started learning how to navigate through bridging that gap, and so that you can have everything in one place. Right. So it happened, you know, slightly over time, learning and learning and learning and learning, not being able to afford, you know, to be able to pay someone. That was something that hits my heart now, because although there's lots of value, that takes a lot of time to do this, some people just can't afford thousands of dollars to have something done for them in the first stages of their business. Yeah. And so that's where I like to fit in that space. Yeah.
I've seen you work with so many women who are starting up their businesses and who are ramping their businesses up to the next level. So I know that your approach works. You mentioned the term funnel, and a funnel is something that lives in your kitchen and that you pour into and helps to direct the flow of liquid. But
yes,
that's the funnel that you're talking about. You are talking about a funnel of products and services. So in just a minute, could you explain what a funnel is for those who don't know the term?
Well, you described it as something in your kitchen that you're pouring a lot of like liquid into, and you're gonna it's gonna go into a little bottle. The same concept. The way a funnel is designed is to bring a lot of people in consistently, and as you communicate with them, you will weed out people who aren't ready to make it to that little bottleneck part to get to you.
Okay.
So that way you can create different levels of your business at different price points in a funnel before people reach you. And then by the time they reach you, they are your targeted audience for whatever product or service you're wanting to provide. So it's the same concept.
Okay, great. So when we talk about you and your tech expertise and how you bring tech into our lives as small business owners or middle-sized business owners, what would you say are the top 5 tech approaches that can make a difference to us?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I encourage everyone to have a website. But if you for some reason don't believe in one, or don't see the need to have one, can't afford one, don't know anything about building one, you can always use what we're all using now is social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all of the others. What you can do is with those, you said 5. So you would need a way for people to get your message, way for people to receive your message and find information about your products and services. 2, you need a way to respond to them and communicate and have that relationship with them. You need a way for them to be able to pay you for your services. And Facebook has provided an awesome space for us to create a community so that we can have that relationship with each other, although you can automate everything that goes on in the background. So you're not literally knocking. I don't have to travel all the way to you, book flights, hotels, just to have a conversation with you. We're right here. So this is part of a technology. So the last one would be video, so in the process of putting those things in place, video can fit in all of them, so that you can look in your camera and you can look directly in the eye of people and they can see you. You can see them. There's an energy exchange, although we're thousands of miles away. So those top 5 should go through your business, no matter what product or service you have, from the beginning stages even.
Right. So when you come onto my website, I didn't even say where my website is. It's marcianb.com. And the minute you come in there, what you see is a little bit about what I do. And then there's something saying, if you'd like to stay in contact with me and receive my newsletter, drop your email here. You didn't mention that as one of the top 5, but do you think that building an email list is something that really is useful to business owners, and why?
Yes, I didn't say email list, but I said a way to communicate, back and forth with them. That would be emails. Okay. Through emails. Building an email list is vital to your business. I've seen many people say, email lists are dead, or don't use them, do this and this. At the same time, they're using an email to communicate with you. So email marketing alone, if you have nothing else but a sign in your hand, have an email address so that people can connect with you. Now that's part of an automation sequence as well. You can have them prepared, and they can, flow out to people daily or weekly or monthly or whatever. But having an email from people is very, very important. Even if they're not your client yet, if you start establishing a relationship with them, they can become your client through the emails. Right. So if you have a challenge that or some sort of training that goes on for days, you can communicate the information back and forth with your clients and the people that you're training via emails.
Right.
So it's very important to.
Okay, so what I'm getting from you is that our emails that flow from us to the people who have signed up to our email list, those emails can be informational. They can give people value about the topic or theme that they're interested in, and that's why they connected with us. We can also give them updates about things that we're doing, programs we're offering. But we could ramp it up even further. And instead of running a course elsewhere, we can also use email to deliver this course day by day, so that the client doesn't need to go to your site, find the link and all these things, because the daily lesson appears in their email inbox. And so it's a matter of convenience for the client as well. That's cool.
Yes.
So maybe in the question and answer, people will have
absolutely.
a question about building that email list, because I've heard time and time again how important that is. That is your one-on-one relationship building from what Ramona has taught me. So there's so much for us to learn.
It's very, very important.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the lifeline of your business.
The other thing that I was reflecting on is when we say the word clients, we said this is a way for us to bring our clients in. This is a way for us to build relationships with our clients and to develop our clientele to the point where somebody is willing to do business with us. That means that not all our clients will necessarily be paying clients. There are NGOs who build email lists. There are people who do free programs or community programs or give scholarships. And all of these can be facilitated through this email list as well, right? And your email list can break down many different groups of people by tagging them and labeling them, so that we treat with each group of people in our list differently and give them different things to suit their needs. So there's so much to learn. I know our interview can't touch on it all, but what it can do is at least sensitize people to the range of possibilities. So what I'd like to find out from you now, Ramona, is I know you out of everybody that I know, and I've gotten to know so many coaches, but of all the coaches that I know, all the business people that I know, you are the one who is always coming up with a new idea. I don't know how it's like there's a revolving door of ideas in your head. And the latest idea I've heard from you is about how to make this learning less intimidating to your people. How to give it to them in a friendly way. It might be new, but there are ways to ease people into doing something new. So what's your latest program that you are rolling out or developing? I know that you sometimes do free programs. You do lots of free videos in your group to train people up. So it is a lot of generosity, but you also run a business. So could you tell me about the next free program that you're going to be doing? And maybe tell me a little bit about the next paid one as well.
The free one starts on Monday. It's another challenge. I didn't want to call it a challenge, so I'd like to call it a workshop this time. But it's for 3 days, and everything that we're sort of discussing here, I want to share on those 3 days. So we will be talking about email marketing and how to use your multiple ways of using your website and including email marketing. And so every day I'm still working on that part. So every day I'll have a live video or either a recorded video, but I will have a live Q&A. That's important. I realize that really helps people. It gives them so if I have a recording, you can go through the recording. You have all day to do the exercises and post them, because I'll have some prizes as well. And then in the afternoon or late evening, I'll have the live Q&A on Zoom for an hour, and that way we can talk about you know, what you may have had struggles with or didn't understand, and you know, and so on. So that's the challenge for next week. The weekend after, on February the 6th and 7th, I'm hosting a boot camp. I've got everything set up for that, so I'm finally ready. I finished it off this morning. The boot camp it's a get it done WordPress boot camp. So you will definitely have to have WordPress to participate. In speaking with coaches and my mentor, the pricing is not, it's not on the low end, but I want to be able to introduce it at a reasonable cost. So you know, I don't want to talk about prices here. I don't really like doing it. But it's affordable, but it's you really have to be ready to dig in and work those 2 days. So it's not something for the light-hearted person. And if you're very new, I'm going to have instructions to help you if you feel like you can do this, to help you get started. So you will definitely need your domain registered and your hosting. And then for the boot camp, the first hour, we're not going to be working on that because it's something you do before. So we're just going to dig in on building everything out. If you have content,
let me
go
see
ahead.
if I understand. So the challenge, the workshop it's a free three-day workshop starting on Monday. And in that workshop, so at the end of that workshop, what would have changed in my life? What is it that this workshop will create for me or help me to create for myself?
Okay, so if you don't know, if you're new and you're not familiar with some of the terminology, that will help because I will have definitions of what they are. If you have started the process of building everything out and there are gaps, maybe links aren't working, you don't know how to use your emails, you're still using, you know, your Gmail account to communicate with people when the particular people you're using that account for should be in an auto-responding service. So there's softwares to help you with that. So I want to explain what that is during the challenge, and connecting the dots, how to bring all of that together.
Okay.
So the challenge is general, but you should get enough to be able to figure out a few things that are wrong in your
okay
funnel, or
so I mean,
in the whole process.
If I'm a new business or a young business and I come into the boot camp, you will help me in my mind to conceptualize how certain basic tech can be incorporated at a low cost and quickly to make me more effective.
Yes.
You'll help me to understand how to build links so that people can click on parts of my message and be taken to deeper insight into those things. You will help me to understand how to I am a very loud sneezer. I didn't want to hurt anybody's ears. Excuse me.
Okay.
So that's what I think would help a lot of people, because sometimes we feel like there are 200 things out there and I don't know which star to pull from the sky to incorporate into my business. So if this bootcamp will help me to get some clarity on that, and maybe even teach me 1 or 2 tools to make a difference in my business, I can't see why we wouldn't grab the opportunity, because it costs us nothing. It is a chance to learn. So, and then I'm thinking, okay, so how do we
introduction?
How do we make our way?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
How do we make our way from this bootcamp? Because I'm thinking in this bootcamp, you're going to tell me maybe 10 things that we could do. There isn't time in the bootcamp for us to do it all, but you're sensitizing us and you might be teaching us 1 or 2 of those tools. Will we be able then to move into the bootcamp from the 3-day challenge where you sensitize and you tell me about these 10 tools? Will we be able to move into the bootcamp the following weekend? And you'll remind us, please, in the comments when I post, what the dates are and the links so that people can find their way to these things after, please. So when we get to the boot camp, I am thinking, are you then going to step me up? The remaining tools, will you hold my hand and teach me the rest in the boot camp? So will this be where we put our heads down and build for 2 days? Because that's what you did with me in that WordPress session that you did with me. So I'll stop talking now and let you tell me about your book.
It will be like that. Yeah. It will be like that. It will be, yeah, there's that delay here with Zoom. On the 3 days, you're right. We're not going to deep dive, you know, in the 3 days. But it's enough to, even if you don't move into the boot camp, which is, you know, it's paid, you have enough to use to help you in whatever areas that you may be struggling with. So I know I can't cover everything in those 3 days, but I just want to touch on at least 3 main things that I've seen people struggling with the most, and emailing is one of them. It's one. And sharing some tools, some resources as well. Definitely some resources. So, so leading into the boot camp is the way it sounds. It's a boot camp. So we will be working, we will be building out. I will have a worksheet as well, and a form for people to fill out so that I know where you are in the process. And all of it will be recorded so that they can continue on. So if you don't finish what you started, you can still continue on, and then they'll have lifetime access to that, because that will be, as it'll be designed as a course. So they'll have a lifetime access, and even with updates with the boot camp.
That sounds lovely.
So it's worth it. Yeah.
I have no doubt with it. The number of women who have shown up here as guests to this interview, that's testimony to the fact that you've helped so many people step up already. People don't show up for people who just look nice, right? They show up for people who make a difference. So, Ramona, I've asked so many questions, but I'd like to also give you a little open space to tell me anything that you feel you wanted to talk about today.
Oh, wow. Well, other than the fact that these beautiful faces I'm looking at are here to support me, and, you know, it's amazing. All I was asking is, you know, if you could just be here, and if you did have a testimonial, that's fine. If not, just their presence alone is worth everything in the universe right now. So I am so touched and honored. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'm not the one who talks about me, so. But
okay, go ahead.
I noticed with everybody that's here that they have, I think everybody here has a website, if I'm not mistaken, or they're working on it, or something like that. And a lot of these women have done it themselves, or they've tried to do so much on their own, and it's just amazing. So I don't know what I could possibly say. They would have to ask, and then I can give feedback. Okay, but so we're right here. You guys are just amazing.
So if you are
just amazing.
Now then, Ramona, would you be okay with us doing a 15-minute question and answer session with the ladies who are here?
Sure.
Oh, great.
Absolutely.
So absolutely. I have gone to gallery view here so that viewers can see all of the people who are on the call. And ladies, feel free to open up your mics and pose any questions, make any statements that you all would like to Ramona, and she'll answer or communicate.
I just raised my hand. I hope that's okay.
Sure.
Can I just jump in, because I have to jump off in a few minutes?
Yes, Tina, and thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. It's nice to see you, ladies. And Ramona, it's nice to see you. I love you, ladies. Um, okay, I have a couple of questions for Ramona. One, my email list, I had about 3,500 people on my email list that was accumulated through, in-person events, multiple events over 10 years. And, I'm a certified health coach, and basically I help people lose weight, busy professionals, busy entrepreneurs lose weight and get their health back where they feel stuck. And they always put their health on the back seat. And so, I used to run these kind of mini challenges where they kind of do these quick 14-day, 21-day, 30-day. Anyway, so I accumulated this list, and I never really I wasn't really that regular with sending out email newsletters in terms of content. It was mostly utilized as a way of letting people know who signed up for my list, here's what's happening in terms of events coming up. Well, as I've been kind of massaging my message and, coming out with more stuff, I've been bombing out this list and people have been dropping off like flies, which is fine because if they don't want it, that's okay. They can go away. I do have, if I look at my open rates, my open rates have been anywhere from 15% to 18%. And then basically when I, sometimes I'll do targeted campaigns to the people who open. So I'll just, do targeted campaigns that, and obviously the click rate, the open rates go up. And then the same people over the last 6 months have been opening my emails, clicking on the links where I'm offering a free session or I'm offering an event registration on my email. Same people. But some of them are, I know it's just unbelievable. They're just not booking. And I don't know where the problem and the break is in terms of, and I've already taken it to the point where I'm sending them a private email out of my Outlook to reach out and say, hey, noticed that you opened my email and just wanted to see if I can help you, blah, 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 blah. And they're not responding. And so I've been trying to get them ported over to my group page and, so that they have a better understanding of me and and I've even incorporated video messages into the emails and things. So my question is, what do I do, Ramona, to raise the, trust factor in my email distribution list? How do I get them I mean, this is probably not just a simple answer, but have you encountered this? What are some ways around this?
And how do you boost conversion is the second part of the
Yeah, exactly. How do you boost conversion? Conversion is the problem. It's the same people
Well, this
are opening.
Yeah. So what it sounds like is you haven't surveyed your list enough to know where they are in their journey. If you know journey, then you can send them the message that would hit them. It's just for them, as if you're talking to them. So if everything is generalized and you haven't had a chance to have that conversation with them yet, then a survey to them so that you can segment your emails. What segmenting is inside your autoresponder, you can have different lists. Right. And then the people in the different lists, this is why funnels are important. If you drop everybody into a funnel that wants to lose weight, you don't want everybody on the other end of that funnel because they're not going to be your customers or clients. And you won't be able to service them. So if you segment your email and only send a message to the people that your message matches, then you will not only, you know, get those click rates open for them opening, which you said you already have, but they're not moving forward.
Yeah.
So your subject line captures their attention, but the rest of your content, you lose them. So somewhere in there, the approach in there is not, it's not resonating with them, and so they're not moving forward. So you have to change your messaging.
Okay.
So it may be that it's not that they don't want to speak with you, but weight loss is personal, and people are afraid, you know, in some cases. And so you have to understand and speak the language that they are communicating out. And you won't be able to do that if you haven't surveyed them.
Okay, so let me.
So that would change so much.
So you are saying use a survey in order to break our whole population of interested people into different niches, figure out which niche matches with the value that I give, match that, and then send my message out to that target audience, as opposed to broadcasting to everybody, because then 90% may not be the ideal client.
Well, at some point, I mean, they are on my list because they've met me somewhere, like at an event, and I was likely either giving a cooking class or teaching or about weight loss and health. I mean, so that's how they're on my list, because they've seen me or interacted with me somehow in the past, you know.
So that has given us a lot of food for thought. I know that this in itself is a boot camp. So, so that's one thing you can learn by coming to a boot camp: how to narrow, how to do these surveys, how to tweak our message to speak to a niche, and then how to tweak another set of messages, another sequence of emails to speak to a different niche. So there may be many different competencies that Tina has, and so she targets different niches with each competence. I have a request from Irene to share what she has to share. So Irene, the mic is now yours. If you open up your mic, you can share.
Thank you, Ramona. Thank you,
welcome.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
By the way, this is brilliant. And I love, first of all, I'm fresh from having a session with Ramona, who I've always considered a powerhouse. But Marsha, the way you're breaking this down is beautiful. So I think the benefit for all of us who have managed to meet at this point of time is wonderful. I essentially wanted to give a testimonial for Ramona, because I find that her commitment, every time I pop into her sessions in the past, I always get a lot of value. This is a woman who has, for me as a person who, like she described, has tried to do this on my own and it's not my thing. It is simply priceless to have someone hold your hand as you discover all the ways that you can technologically get your message out there. So that is, to me, is priceless, because I've been trying to do this for years and I've never had the luxury of having someone hold my hand the way she did last Wednesday. And I have to say, her commitment and her dedication to getting me what I wanted from my own website was amazing. And so thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
I appreciate you. You're teachable.
I hope so.
Yeah, you're you know, not everybody is teachable. I think everybody here in this space I would be able to work with, and that's important. So we still have some more work to do on your site, and I'm looking forward to finishing that with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's move over to Evelyn. Evelyn also has questions as well as some experience that she wants to talk about with you.
First of all, I want to say hello to everybody. I've been in groups and sessions with most of you, and it was wonderful. With Ramona, I have had the most amazing experience. First of all, because she's been so kind and generous with her time. When I was starting my Facebook group and starting the challenge, I had no clue how to get Zoom onto Facebook Live. And I fumbled so much through it. She reached out and told me that she would help me. And what I thought would be maybe a 15-30 minute session ended up being 4-6 hour session, just like Marcia mentioned. And it was so rich because we talked about not just Zoom and technology, which I have more information and knowledge now, thankfully, because of Ramona. And I'm so grateful to you, Ramona, for that. And we have become friends since then, because she's the kind of person you want to have in your corner, not just for business, but in friendship. And I truly appreciate you. Thank you. So I finally learned how to get that Zoom thing going, and I'm doing it quicker. Now, I do have a question, and one thing is, how did you get that background, Ramona, on your video feed? Is that Zoom or?
Well, no, my daughter made this for me. She put my logo on some fabric and made me a backdrop.
Oh,
I couldn't get
wonderful,
Zoom
and
to
that's
do
a
right.
great
It kept
idea.
fading in and out. My hair is gray, so the white, you need a white background or, you know, gray. So everything was blending in with my hair. So she made that for me.
The next question I have,
Yeah.
and to end it with this so that somebody else can have an opportunity. I started what looks like a podcast just to start and get things rolling. But I'm still a little bit confused. Do I put it and set it up on my website? Right now, what I'm doing is, because it's the easiest thing for me, and I'm committed to doing that, which is the most important thing for us. And we've learned that the hard way, all of us, I think. It is that I've been posting it on Zoom live through Facebook, but I'm having issues saving it at times. Facebook's been really, really fussy lately. And so I want to make sure I control and I keep all of my videos, because we don't know what's going to happen with social media at any time right now, whether it's electronic or any kind of glitch in the system that can happen. It's you know, it is technology, or that we get deplatformed because we said a word that you know, they feel that you know, they don't want us to say. So I'm being more careful about that as well. But how do we protect our content and make sure that we keep it, especially with live presentations?
Well, unfortunately, the moment you're out in public anywhere doing anything, you really cannot 100% control that, because someone can just take
Okay.
their phone and record what you're saying and what you're doing.
Sure.
So I don't think there were, honestly, I don't think there will ever be 100% control. But the control that you're talking about is where you can put it so that you have control over where it goes, when it goes, and how it goes out.
Right.
I will always encourage people to use their websites first. I know we're bombarded with, you know, to use different softwares, but even if you don't have WordPress, if you record, you're not doing live podcasts, if you're recording them, you can upload them straight to your server and have them on your website. There was a time when you couldn't do that because there had to be a conversion process. You know, the audio had to be converted to whatever to be able to be heard on the internet. But we don't have those issues anymore. So you don't really need Zoom. You don't need YouTube. You don't need any of those. You can record them directly up to your website. And then when you create a page and you upload that, you can design the page however you want. You take that link and you share it out. And that traffic goes to you, not someone else. And then you try to get them to you. We are a lazy society in this space. We are not going to keep clicking to try to find you.
Right.
So if you have one link to send people, and then we're nosy, so we're going to look around your website and look for other things that you're doing. But if you send us to iPhone, was it iTunes, and then you think people are going to go to your website, chances are they're going to listen to you and not move forward. So why have that interference, that third party, that distracted source that's there? All that energy you put out should be coming back to you so that you can use it for your clients and customers and whoever you want to share with. But there's this thought in our minds that we need these other outside forces. The only thing that you would need, I think, that would help you the most is an autoresponder, because you can't respond to emails every day.
Mhm.
And if you have several lists, it's ridiculous to think so. But for a podcast, videos, or anything like that, load them directly to your website. And then take that link that you created that page on and share that out to your fans, your people. Put that in advertisements and let that traffic come back to you versus having someone in between. So you can do that. I know what platform you use.
Mhm.
They have
We'll be moving to WordPress
yeah,
soon, hopefully.
I don't want to say it because it's not WordPress, but but they have options for you to be able to upload sound. You can for audio, so you can do that on your own website. Why go somewhere else when you need that traffic to come to you?
Yes.
It's yours. You
Yes.
earned it.
Thank
Facebook
you.
doesn't want us sharing the traffic outside. You know,
Mm.
they penalize you for leaving the platform. But if you send someone to your website from Facebook and then you send them back, Facebook is okay with that. But if you don't have like this cycle that Facebook can tell, you know, what your process is, then they'll cut you off for being able to share your information.
Right.
So you can put it on your website.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
So
Appreciate
I
it.
can show you how.
I think we have about 10 minutes, so I'd love to get to a couple more questions. Ladies, anybody else has questions or comments you all want to share?
I'm trying to read the comments. I
Lilia.
didn't have them open at first.
Lilia, go ahead.
Yes,
Tiny.
I don't have a question, but I just want to be grateful to meet Ramona, because I met her in the stage where I was launching my business. And I don't think I will be able to move as smooth as I was doing it, because I was feeling a lot of pressure, especially on the challenge. So to have Ramona, when I opened her page, and to see not just a few points that help us, but I mean tons of information, because her generosity is amazing, and her welcoming, you know, the soft voice that she has. And when working with her, it's like I am here for you. Nothing else exists. So you can feel that. And I see her growing in her knowledge, in her commitment, in her, I'm pretty sure that she has resistance like all of us moving into our business. But obviously that nothing has stopped her to take the next step and to be brave. And so she's a great example of how she's been empowering herself in the knowledge and the commitment. And obviously that overcoming this resistance, because it is obviously that she now is unstoppable. So thank you so much, Ramona. For me, it's an honor to have you in my journey. And thank you so much. That's it.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Lilia. That was amazing. You are an amazing person. She helped me overcome something that I knew was there, just didn't know how to overcome it, whatever it was. And so she took me through a process that I really feel like that was it. Like it changed me. It made me trust myself and let go of some things that I wasn't even aware. So she's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramona.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lilia. So
Yeah.
Ramona, could you tell us, because if I were not already in your group, listening to these women would make me want to jump into that group right now to access some of your free videos and your guidance. So how can people who are listening join your group?
Okay. You can go to techsavvylivechallenges.com. I'm going to put that in the comments. So that's TechSavvy, www.techsavvylivechallenge.com to go to the Facebook group.
Right. And when we
for the boot camp,
tell us.
I have that link in here as well.
Okay. So we'll put
I'm trying to type it.
We'll put the link under the video when I post it in Facebook, so everybody can get the information there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That way I can make sure it's typed correctly. I don't want to have the wrong link in the in there because I can't see the words that clearly. And I have good vision. These are little tiny, so tiny.
All right, we have time for one more question. Natalie, go ahead. This is Natalie Bedard.
Hello. Well, I just wanted to acknowledge also Ramona for her presence. I started interview series without having nothing with Facebook or anything, and Ramona was supposed to be my first interview person, and she was so flexible. Like your flexibility and your support at that, like just giving it a go. I did 14 interviews after that, like every day. But if you had not had this flexibility of supporting me, I don't know how I would I don't think I would have done it this way. So I'm just thrilled to know you, and your presence was really important and precious in going forward, moving forward. And I cannot agree more with Evelyn and Lilia, what like the quality, the generosity, your presence, and your just your wow, your wow presence. So thank you.
Ramona,
Thank you so
anything
much, Natalie.
anything you'd like to share with us as we close up today?
I see, is that, well, I can't see, it's like, maybe it's the connection is not good on my end because everybody's sort of not there.
Would you like me to tell you the names I see? We have.
Yeah, well, I can see names. It's just, it's not just, yeah, I see Barbara.
We have
Barbara,
Barbara,
and then
we
there's
have
Linda.
We have Irene, Lilia.
Okay,
Angela,
Linda's face is
Natalie,
here.
Tina, and Evelyn.
Yeah.
And Alyssa was here earlier,
Okay.
and a couple other people who had to leave.
Okay. Well, I just would like to say thank you for doing this. I just wanted to acknowledge everybody again. And if you do need me to help you with anything, I have a 30-minute clarity session that I'm offering at no cost. And so you can book me there at, what's the name? sessions.ramonamyles.com and book a 30-minute session with me, and we'll work through, getting clear on what direction you need to take for, wherever you are in your business. So it won't be so overwhelming and stressful. You can do it. You can do it. And thank you so much again, Marcia.
Oh, it was my pleasure. So viewers, thank you for tuning in. I'll take the opportunity to invite you to my site. I'm about to launch a book for special needs parents. And I'm so excited because I'm building out these videos of these interviews and I'm sharing them on my site. So soon there'll be a page to show all of these interviews that make a difference by showcasing change makers who in their small way, have been changing our world and changing their communities. And in terms of Ramona, we are going to put below the video when we post it, we're going to put links to Ramona's challenge that's going to be free, to her boot camp, information about how you can become a part of the boot camp, information about how you can step up and join her free community, because there's so much value to be had. So you don't have to remember anything that she said. Just go visit the comments and you'll see a link for all of these things. Ramona, it's been a pleasure to have you. Your light shines brightly as your smile. So I look forward to continuing to grow in friendship with you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, ladies, everybody have a good day. Viewers.
Bye. Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you, Marcia. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Nice